Foundationally, the responsibility of guarding our financial system resides, for the most part, with the Federal Reserve System. Charged with encouraging economic growth and price stability, the Fed has the power to raise and to lower interest rates. Its performance record has been checkered. In responding to the recent crisis, the Fed response was late, but nevertheless massive, dramatic, and I thought innovative. That intervention stopped the economy and the financial markets from falling into an abyss. Even the much-debated quantitative easing you've been reading about was, from my perspective, correct, because it reversed the decline in the value of financial assets, an important prerequisite for reversing the weakness in the economy. Now, although the central bank response to the crisis was generally admirable, its role leading up to the crisis was much more problematic. Up until the crisis was in full bloom, the Federal Reserve took a hands-off approach in managing the credit structure of the United States. It followed a kind of a clinical and antiseptic tactic of focusing on the growth of the monetary variables, and thus failed to adequately restrain the growth of credit, the growth of debt. It allowed credit and debt to grow much faster than the growth of the economy, that is nominal GDP. Now, as I've suggested, the rapid growth of credit in recent decades was propelled, of course, by several structural changes in the financial markets and a lot of innovation. Officials at the Federal Reserve failed to appreciate the impact of these changes, securitization, derivative growth, and so on, and to understand what the impact would be on the economy and the system. The Fed failed also to recognize that abandoning the Glass-Steagall Act would accelerate financial concentration and thereby create even more of a too-big-to-fail problem. It took the near collapse of our financial system for the Fed to officially admit in public that some giant institutions were too big to fail. The Fed's role as a guardian of our financial system, I believe, is analogous to the relationship between the parent and a child. As a guardian, the parent's role is to set out standards of behavior and hold the child to those standards. A parent should not play the role of a friend in his or her relationship with the child. Similarly, the central bank should define and enforce standards of behavior. It should never become a folk hero of the marketplace.